Hey everyone, I wanted to come on here and talk about ankle injuries and spraining your ankle. I had a really loyal client come to me a few months ago because her son had injured himself in competition. He was playing basketball and she needed to get him rehabbed quickly so that he could play in the championship game. So she reached out to me and I was able to help them do that. After I had seen her on the first day and seen him on the first day, she had gone to the team and she told them what she was doing, what her plan was, because her son is a pretty integral part to this team. And she said that she received a lot of pushback from other moms and kind of giving her a hard time as to why she was paying for him to be rehabbed. They had said things like, it's completely normal for basketball players to roll their ankles. You just need to put a brace on it. You just need to tape it. He's totally fine. He'll bounce back. You don't need to pay for rehab. Obviously, she didn't agree with that. So I thought it would be important because I feel like I've heard these same things said by parents, and I felt like it was important to kind of come on and just educate about sprained ankles. So with regards to basketball players, it is a common injury in basketball players. They go up for a ball, they come back down, they land on somebody's foot, the ankle rolls off the foot, they either sprain it pretty bad, they can tear it, they could fracture, whatever, right? Well, so a lot of times they'll just be like a minor sprain. The problem with a minor sprain is that it's still kind of like micro tearing in the ligament. It's like a stretching of the ligament, and ligaments don't heal with more ligament tissue. It heals with scar tissue, and scar tissue is a little bit different. I don't want to say material, but it's different than an actual ligament. And so what happens is, okay, the ligaments hold your bone to bone. So you have tendons that hold muscle to bone, and then you have ligaments that hold bone to bone. So they're kind of like the last line of defense if you are to get hit or you tweak your joint weirdly or whatever, right? So the ligaments like hold those bones together. And so when you stretch a ligament, what happens, the best way I can describe it to you and how I describe it to my patients, is that a tight normal ligament is like having a big dog on a short tight leash. Okay, so there's no laxity in the leash. And then having a stretched out ligament or a sprained ligament is like having a big dog on a lax leash. And so if something goes by and the dog lunges, there's that much momentum for them to gain or velocity for them to gain until the leash tightens. And you're more likely to tear at that point because now you've created all this momentum and velocity. So when you roll your ankle repeatedly, you're constantly stretching and stretching and stretching. Eventually, you could potentially actually tear it, okay? And so the reason why I say this is that it is very important for athletes, especially young athletes, to come in and get rehabbed when they injure themselves because it doesn't just go away. And if they don't know how to properly rehab themselves and do the proper exercises, the ankle doesn't really heal the way it should, okay? We have these things in our tissue that are called proprioceptors. Proprioceptors tell your brain where your body is in space. So if I were to close my eyes, I still know where my left hand is located or my right hand or whatever. And so when these proprioceptors are damaged in a joint, like an ankle, what happens is when you go to step off of a curb or you're walking or whatever, if you start to roll the ankle, the proprioceptors aren't communicating quick enough with the brain. And so the brain doesn't know to have your muscles react to prevent the ankle from rolling, and so then you could potentially roll it more. And so when you come to rehab for a rolled ankle, we don't only work on the inflammation and the pain, but we also do strengthening. We work on balance, we work on proprioceptive activities, and then eventually sport-specific activities or job-specific activities to get you back in a functional movement so that you're able to do those activities so you can go back to your sport or your job. And so when you don't do those things, like I said, you are setting yourself up for a future more excessive injury than just a regular sprained ankle. So when a child has to get back to competition quickly, Because I know that tissues take about 6 to 8 weeks to heal, if not longer sometimes. When a child needs to get back to a competition, say in like 2 or 3 weeks, my job is to get the swelling down, get the pain down, get the child comfortable, introduce them to the strengthening, really work on balance and proprioception. I will have them tape or wear an ankle brace if they're going into competition to give the ankle that much more stability while they're playing that day. But I'm like, oh, you're gonna have to wear this ankle brace forever. Because the goal is to strengthen their actual ankle and make it stable so that they don't have to wear a brace forever. That is literally just for that, if they're not ready yet, that's for them to be able to go and play in competition. Because I tried my hardest not to keep a child out or an adult athlete out of their competition, especially if it's a really important game and they're healthy enough that they could compete. I would never put them in the game if I felt like it was going to be dangerous or more detrimental to them. So I always tried my hardest to be able to get them back into competition. And so those ankle braces and the taping, it's a temporary solution. And so the more permanent solution to the problem is the rehab and is the education really to the athlete and to educate them on their anatomy and how tissues heal and work. So I just wanted to come on here and educate that yes, ankle rolling and ankle sprains are common in basketball. No, basketball players do not need to wear ankle braces for the rest of their lives. And yes, it's very important for them to rehab, especially if they are an adolescent, because you don't want to set them up for future injuries. So I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, please comment below or reach out to me. If you have questions about your own athlete or your own self, reach out to me. I would be happy to help. Take care. Bye.